what I'm going to share with you is the third master plan for fostering and supporting female scientists and engineers. That is a 5-year master plan from 2014 to 2018. The government sets up this master plan every 5 years, so we are now in third phase. Actually, hosting this Gender Summit 2015 is an important part included in this third master plan. Before going into the details of these action items, let's take a look at some statistics on female employment rate. Here is the data for employment ratio female to male. These are very reliable data because it is reported by Center for Women in Science and Engineering Technology, led by Dr. Sik Lee, the co-chair of this conference. So the total employment ratio in science and technology field is 18.9% in the year 2013, and if we break up into many sectors, for example, full-time faculty positions in natural science and engineering schools in national and public universities, the employment ratio is 21.6% 2 years ago, but very heavily shifted to natural science, 25.6%, but in engineering side, only 5% are occupied by the female. And as for the public research institutes, 23.3%, much similar value to the faculty positions in the universities, but regular employment is quite low, less than 15%, and then much higher irregular employment, and then the management level only 5% female management level. And for private research institutes, 13.8% occupations. This is quite low compared to public research institutes. I guess that is because government push the public research institutes to hire more female researchers, but the private sectors are not under the control of the government. And new employment ratio is around 20%. And if you take a look at some other statistics, promotion ratio is very low, 12.5%. But the maternity leave actual system is quite well established in Korea, so it reaches over 98%. But I couldn't find the data how much percent return to work after that break. That could be also a very important factor. But and then the research institutes that has equipped with child care facility is only 10%. We are quite poor in this regards. So what you see here is the girls student ratio in engineering schools last year. I pointed out with blue color in the above three majors because those majors are blue ocean to girl students. Easy competition against the poor boy students and easy boys in the career development. And the last two one, chemical and textile engineers are in red ocean. Female girl students should take hard competition with themselves. So, actually my major is mechanical engineering, very low, but I graduated university 40 years ago. At that time, only 3 girl students went to College of Engineering. In this regard, we had very impressive progress so far. Now, let's go back to the master plan. And actually, women's role is becoming very crucial in Korea because of a very low birth rate and moving toward the aging society and the emergence of sensibility technology, which the demand of female workforce is very high. But woman power has not been practically utilized because of barriers such as low employment rate, discontinuation in career development. Those barriers are built up by a limited career promotion due to high irregular employment rate and the low opportunity to participate R&D, post-education, and international activities. Fewer girl students, as you saw in the slide, previous slide, in engineering schools where job demand for long-term employment is relatively high and education field adaptation is unsatisfied. Part-time labor system or selective time labor system still in the early stage, and the women's inactive tendency in the challenging environment such as founding startup companies. And the poor motherhood protection and nursing systems, though women-friendly environments is spreading in public sectors. Lastly, low ratio of women leaders in science and technology. So the vision of this master plan is to enhance capability of science and technology for creative economy through gendered innovations. So some detailed action plans are listed in this slide. So from now on, I'll explain more details of each action plan. So firstly, encouraging talented women by presenting them with vision and career paths in science and technology fields, and promoting their participation in R&D and business. So the quantitative goals are raising girl students ratio entering engineering schools up to 25% in the year 2018. Also, the girl students' role in the high schools, we have quite a few high schools founded for special purpose of science and education. So the girl students in ratio is 20% in 3 years ago, and that would go up to 30% in 2018. And then employment rate of women graduates in science and technology would move up to 60% in 2018. So to achieve this goal, the presentation of vision in regard to the presentation of vision in career path, launching the Girls Students Science SNT Career Vision Project for monitoring and supporting scholarship, and introduction of three-part monitoring system that is composed of parents, teachers, and female scientists. And in regard to promotion of participation in R&D and business, promotion of employment to local industries by reinforcement of mentoring by senior women and internship, especially to heavy and civil industries where women employment rate is very low. Only 3 minutes left? Oh. I quickly through pointing out the important policies, okay. And the second item is enhancing female scientists and engineers' capabilities by raising their participation in R&D and reinforcing their global networks. For the global networks, you can see that here, in the last paragraph, hosting the Gender Summit 2015 in Seoul is in here. And then government is setting up a plan that women, when the National Research Institutes creates or expand women-friendly research sites, they can get favor in the performance evaluation of the institute. And then certainly expanding high-quality jobs by continuously creating women-friendly employment and promoting startup businesses. So we are trying to expand the time-selective jobs up to 10% in 2018, and increase the female member of cooperative association in science and technology to 30%, and then female startup businesses up to 10%. So important point is here, launching the substitute female worker supply system center for making up temporary retirements for child care. And also open the women startup site that is combined Startup Alliance and Accelerator Leaders Forum. And then raising the female venture fund up to $50 million budget that is joint funding by government and private sectors. And the first item is converging life-friendly employment by supporting women's easy return to work after career breaks, and fostering cultural change and for reconciling work and home life. So for the projects for easy return to work, we make 1,000 projects that could give benefit to 1,000 female who are prepared to return to work. And then expanding the participation to R&D activities of female over 40 years old to 60%. And then adaptation rate of autonomous working system for reconciling work and home up to 70%. And here, I would like to emphasize that The last one, the woman-friendly management indicators. This is already introduced by the presentation in the last gala dinner by Dr. Young-Ah Park. That includes new employment and promotion rates, female principal rate in R&D projects and the pay difference, temporary retirement rate for child care and so on. Lastly, driving gender diversity by fostering female leaders in science and technology society. So female positions over middle management up to 10%. And then, and also in government has various committees, special committees in ST. So raise the number of female members up to 40% in 2018. Okay, and then other. So as the President Kang, the chair of this session, mentioned in his talk, we also adopt gender innovation checking guideline and the introduction of gender analysis obligation system in R&D planning. For example, gender innovation factors should be reflected in the research proposal to take part in Horizon 2020 program, and gender analysis special committee gives favor in the project selection process. Finally, for the successful gender innovations, I would like to emphasize the importance of cultural transition from a fixed idea on the traditional women's role. And I know that quite a few female researchers don't want to go up to higher position because they hesitate to take heavy duty. They just want to stay as is with their own specialty. So self-confidence in active movement against challenging environment is very important. And then some infrastructures for easy return to work after career breaks and to overcome household burden. Thank you very much for your attention.